Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to Jim's 5am Club and another episode. And we're cracking along, making great pace. And check out this weather, yet another perler. It was only yesterday when I was just saying how beautiful the weather is. And if I gave 10 out of 10 yesterday to the glorious weather conditions, I've got to give another 10 today. As I always say, autumn in Sydney is without doubt the best time of year to visit and the best time to get out and about and come down and just check out the harbour, check out the city, and check out our beautiful, most glorious monuments. We've got the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge, which are world-renowned. People used to come from all over the world just to see what I'm seeing every single day. But what I'd like to do is go on a walk and talk like I normally do. It's my morning tea. I started at 6 this morning. I did a vlog this morning on my experience of 2004, the Euro Cup, where Greece won, because last night I was very fortunate to have gotten tickets to the premiere, the pre-screening of this wonderful documentary. And I was very tearful this morning and very, very emotional because, as I say, without doubt, it was the greatest moment in my life where I was able to achieve a level of euphoria, happiness that cannot be matched. Just simply cannot be matched in any other thing in our lives, because it was a shared experience. Every single Greek throughout the world, every Hellene, every Greek diasporian partook in the sweetness of that victory. And for a moment, just for a moment, the Greeks throughout the world were united in one breath, one heartbeat, one embodiment of Hellenism. And I just can never ever forget that sense of glee, that sense of joy. I just can't explain it. And as I say, 17 years later, I think about it, I talk about it like everybody else. I choke up, I tear up, and I just say, how lucky was I, how lucky were we to have experienced that magical moment in time. And I also remember fondly that at the final, my daughter Artemis, my youngest daughter, happened to be in Greece. And it surprised me because she was only 15, and I asked my wife last night, how do we let our daughters at 14 or 15 travel to Greece every year? But it was back in the times, and I remember now very, very clearly, when it was a single income family. I was working hard, and we wanted our daughters to experience Greece, to experience their family in Greece. And sometimes it was impossible to be able to travel all together because of work commitments, because of financial commitments. So what we would do every now and then is we would send our daughters overseas, either on their own or together, so that they could spend a few weeks with their aunties, their cousins and family, to basically get a taste of the homeland. And on this particular occasion in 2004, Artemis was in Greece, my youngest daughter, at 14 years of age. And she was there when Greece beat France, when Greece beat the Czech Republic, and we could all see and sense the commotion. It was building up, the excitement was building up, much to the point where at each victory, it was as if we had won the cup. It's as if we were the Euro champions, having beaten some of the best teams in the world. Because we did beat some great teams. We beat France 1-0 in the quarterfinals. We weren't expected to get through that. Actually, the expectation was that we were going to get thrashed. We beat the Czech Republic. Otto Rehagel said that the Czech Republic that year was the best team in the world. And we beat them right on full time in extra time with seconds to play. We were awarded a corner, and I just still can't believe it. The corner came curling in, and Delis, the fullback, was there to slot home a goal which made it impossible for the Czech Republic to try and get another result out of the game. So we ended up winning that to our vast excitement, and my daughter was in Greece for those celebrations. But the cherry on top of the cake was when Greece played the host nation, Portugal, in the final, in Portugal. Greece played Portugal in the first match, the opening match, a team which had Ronaldo, which had Figo in the team, had all of these absolutely champion players, and we were able to defeat them in the first opening match, which nobody expected. The stadium was full of Portuguese supporters in their colours, screaming, shouting, and it looked as once again that the Greeks were going to be overwhelmed and humbled by the Portuguese team, which was, as I said before, jam-packed with star names. But Karagunis slotted away a goal and upset the rhythm of the match. And we played Portugal in the final, and of course Agilos Charistes scored a goal probably about, I think it was about just after half time, if I remember well. And then we had to sit there biting our nails, just hoping, watching the clock to count down the time where we could all unite as one and celebrate this momentous victory. But as I said, my daughter Artemis was in Greece watching the game with family, with her uncle and my wife's sisters. And when the game ended and Greece won, my brother-in-law, Babi Talumi, said to Artemis, "Ella, pame," which means, "Come on, let's go." So he took her downstairs. They mounted his big motorbike, of course, with no helmets. This was 2004, and who would want to wear a helmet on the night where Greece conquered the world? And he gave her a massive flag, and he said, "Hold on, we're going for a ride." And there was bipping and cheering, and everybody was out on the streets. It was an unbelievable sort of time in our lives. And Artemis and Babi went all the way to Omonia, which is the centre of Athens, where there were cars and buses and people. And Artemis says it was just an absolutely amazing experience. And to be 14 years of age and to experience something like that is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, because we are realists. You know, Greece was 300-1 back then, and they pulled off the impossible. And the impossible isn't always achievable. So it's a once-in-a-generation, once-in-a-lifetime sort of outcome. But once again, I invite everybody to go to the movies, to see this documentary, and you will learn a lot about the Greek spirit, the coaching style of Rahagel, who didn't speak Greek, didn't even speak English. So you ask yourself, how the hell was he able to communicate with the Greeks, who themselves, under normal circumstances are hard to communicate with, even in Greek, because everybody used to be, or sometimes is a diva and just wants to do their own thing. But he was able to instill a belief in each of the team players. He was able to organise them and be realistic with them and say, look, we aren't the best players, we aren't the best team, but we're good enough. We're good enough if we play together, if we play defensively and keep out the goals, and then try and knock in a goal every now and then to upset our opponents and to play with their heads, play with their minds. And it's a tactic, it's a strategy which ended up working very well. And 17 years later, as I said, and as I was tearing up this morning, it is still a moment in my life where it was euphoric. And as I said, the best moments, by far the best moments that you can ever experience in your life, aren't the ones that you experience on your own, but they're usually the ones where you experience them with people around you. And this was an opportunity to share with a lot of people the joys of being Greek, of being an underdog, of being the despised outsider, and yet still we were able to stand up and roar as one, and to capture that moment in time. I didn't go home that night because after the match we went down, because it played in the early hours of the morning. I went down to Brighton Le Sands, where the celebrations just continued. The cars were going past. It was just mayhem. That last week from the semi-final to the final, and the day after the final, Brighton was just the place to be. There were cars chucking wheelies. There were people driving around with flags. Everybody was excited. I remember it well. And the next day we were just driving around, bipping and carrying on. And then I told my wife, look, take me to work, because I dressed up to go to work. What I did was that we went to Johnny D's place to watch the match, and after that the deal was to just drive to work and for me to go to work. But it took me a while to get to work. I didn't get to work till about 11 o'clock. And of course, I didn't call my boss to tell him that I wasn't coming to work. And it was only years later, when I was having a one-on-one with my boss in a performance review, after I'd come back from holidays, and he was in one of those stupid, filthy moods. And he said to me, that he was offended that I turned up late to work that day and didn't call in late. And I just rolled my eyes and I said to myself, why should I even bother trying to explain myself? You will never, ever understand what this moment meant to me and to every Greek on the planet. So once again, it doesn't matter. I've moved on from there, moved on from that day. But just a reminder that shared moments come very, very, very rarely in our lives, and we just need to capitalise on them and make the most of it. So I'd like to thank Johnny D for inviting us to his house on that night so we could watch the game, and then the party which ensued, and also the people who put out this movie, just to allow us to remember singing as one. Σηκωσε το γαμημενο, Δεν μπορώ να περιμένω. Σήκωσε το γαμημενο. Δεν μπορώ να περιμένω. What a tune, what a tune. And it's only now that I've relived it, remembered it, and can't wait to see this movie again. So take your families, take your friends, and go and enjoy this documentary and relive that beautiful moment in time where God put his hand on the Greek nation and made us so proud. Γεια σας, take care, and we'll chat again. Bye for now.